see you.
All right. We're so excited to be here. I can feel it. My last name is Trespicio, which sounds Italian. People think it's Italian, but it's actually Filipino. And I was on a first date recently, and the guy said, "Oh, when we talked on the phone, you didn't sound Asian." I said, "And you didn't sound short." Now, I do a lot of online dating, but I recently actually went to a singles event. I don't know if you've been to one of these. It had been a long time for me. There's nothing wrong with being on the market, of course. But this wasn't Whole Foods Market, okay? With like lots of fresh, juicy stuff everywhere. It was more like Fairway, right before a major snowstorm. All the good stuff is gone, and what's left is suspect. Certainly not something you want to put in your mouth. The thing that I really like about, and the reason why I like online dating, honestly, is the sense of abundance. There's so many people, there's always another guy, you know, until there isn't. And I found this out the hard way when I swiped through so many profiles that I ran out of people. I didn't even know this was possible. But a little note came up on the app and it said, "Looks like you're out of options." Now go back and lower your standards. Again. Yes, that's exactly what happened. The problem, if you're really going to complain about dating in New York, and anyone who dates in New York does complain about it, is this though. It's that the men take no initiative. And you know why? Because they don't have to. There's so many single women here. You could go out and throw a rock and hit a single woman. I know this because I do it from time to time to keep the numbers down. There's a reason why 50 Shades of Grey still has such a hold on the female psyche. It's not that we want to be tied up and horsewhipped necessarily, but at least the guy knew what he wanted, and he went for it, which is more than I can say for most people that I date. Honestly, I would submit to being blindfolded and spanked on occasion if you would pick a fucking restaurant. I know what my problem is though, honestly. It's that I date too young. I mean, at my age, I should be dating the owner of the restaurant, not the waitstaff. But I can't, the way I look at it is this. Dating a young guy is like adopting a puppy. It's like, oh, they're so cute, it seems like a good idea to take them home, you know? But they're far more work than you realize. The begging and the whining, and they want to go out every other minute. Whereas, dating a divorced man is like adopting a rescue. Sure, they're a little banged up, but they're so grateful to be given a second chance. Now, I don't have kids. This is actually on purpose. But a lot of people think I'm making a mistake. They say, "Oh, but you'd make such a great mom." And I say, "And maybe you'd make a great correctional officer or rodeo clown." People will never know. And then they say, "Well, is it because you hate kids? You just like hate children?" I said, "That's unfair. I don't hate kids. I don't have a kid for the same reason most New Yorkers don't have cars. They're extremely expensive and there's nowhere to put one." And they say, like, "Well, why don't you just have one? You know, like, just have one." Like they're handing around a plate of brownies. Just have one's not gonna kill you. So let's walk this through. I'll walk you through my thinking again. Do I want to gestate a human child in my gut for the better part of a year, squeeze it out in front of a room full of people, hand my life over to its care and feeding, to the expense of all else while my body collapses on itself, and spend the next 18 years raising this child to function in society to the tune of about $250,000, of which I'll receive very little but grief and the occasional bouquet of flowers. And if I do it right, he will definitely leave me for another woman. Not sold on that idea. In fact, I'm shocked at my married friends how lightly they take this decision. I'd say, "We're going to have kids?" Maybe. What do you mean, maybe? Well, if it happens, it happens. Really? Because that's what I say when I leave my umbrella at home and there's 40% chance of precipitation. And even then, I will go back for it. So when people say to me, "You know, Terri, at some point you should really settle down and have some kids," I say, "And you should really get your PhD in applied physics." And they say, "Why would I do that? That's a lot of work for something I never really wanted." Exactly.
We're starting with the girl and girl. Great job. Really nice delivery. You got an incredibly relaxed delivery. I loved. You just took it to life, and then you rolled with it. It was really lovely. Very funny. Very funny. Very funny being out of the notches and stuff like that. You had a good imagination with your works. It was great.
Yeah, great job. That was all I can say is great delivery, great material, and you fucking rocked it. Good job.
I love the twist with the throwing the rocks to keep the numbers down. It was a great bit. I love the online stuff. I'd rather get spanked than to pick the restaurant. I thought it was a great set. Very good set.
Not a big fan of the whole online dating thing. It's a little old. The baby thing, though, you got me on that. That was funny. I had a hard time concentrating on what you were saying. The gray dress, the tan legs. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. The whole thing you got going there. It was a little difficult. So, thank you.
You guys ready for the...
Yes!
Terri Trespicio.